Savannah Chrisley violated, reveals her home was vandalized. Savannah Chrisley is feeling violated after she revealed her home was vandalized. Fans are shocked that she is going through this right now. However, she is not afraid to let people know what others are doing. The Chrisley family is hopeful following the election. Keep reading to find out more about this. Chrisley family is hopeful. The Chrisley family is hopeful after the election. They think since Donald Trump was elected as the new president, that Todd in July will be able to get out sooner. Savannah Chrisley violated as home was vandalized. Savannah Chrisley is feeling violated as her home was vandalized. This happened after the election took place. Savannah was vocal about who she supported in the race. However, this has led to some unhappy people. It seems that people are not fond of her supporting Trump. However, she is not going to let this stop her from voicing her opinion. Savannah is going to keep trying to get her parents out of prison. However, fans think this is a waste of her time, though due to the crimes they committed. Savannah Chrisley stood in the doorway of her once pristine home, her breath catching as she absorbed the mess. The sight hit her like a physical blow. Her usually tidy living room was in shambles. Cushions were torn open, leaving cotton fluff scattered like snow. Her coffee table, a cherished vintage find, lay tipped on its side with a long crack running through its center. Framed photos of her family and friends, normally arranged with care, were either knocked over or missing. The mess wasn't accidental or careless. It was vicious, full of intent. For a moment, she struggled to process what she was seeing. She'd left her home just yesterday for a work trip, feeling secure and looking forward to coming back to her sanctuary. Now, standing in the doorway, she felt violated. Whoever had done this hadn't just made a mess. They had attacked the heart of her space, of her safe place. She shivered, a wave of unease settling over her. With a shaking hand, she reached for her phone to call the police, her mind racing through questions and fears. Who could have done this? Why? The Chrisleys were no strangers to controversy or intense public interest, but this felt personal, like someone had wanted to send a message. As she waited for the police, Savannah wandered cautiously through the rooms, each step revealing more destruction. Her bedroom, her private space, a room she guarded more than any other, was in a worse state than the living room. Clothes were strewn across the floor, her vanity mirror had been smashed, and her jewelry box was appended, necklaces and earrings tangled and glittering amidst the wreckage. She felt a pang as she spotted a broken necklace, a gift from her dad. It was irreplaceable, and the sight of it broken, discarded carelessly on the floor, hurt in a way she hadn't expected. The police arrived within minutes, and she directed them through the house, pointing out the damage. They listened, nodding, asking questions. Had she noticed anyone unusual around the neighborhood? Had anyone been bothering her online? Savannah, still dazed, shook her head. Of course, there had been plenty of online trolls, but she was used to ignoring them. None of it had ever felt threatening before. But this was something else. As the officers examined the house, they pointed out small details that had slipped Savannah's notice. A few things were missing, valuable items like her designer handbags, and even a few pieces of jewelry. Yet other expensive items had been left untouched. It was strange, one officer noted, almost as if the vandal had wanted to make a statement more than they'd wanted to steal. It left Savannah with an unsettling thought. Someone wanted to hurt her, to send a message, more than they wanted her things. The Chrisley family had faced their fair share of drama, but this felt different. Savannah remembered every headline, every instance where their private family matters had been dissected publicly. Her parents' legal troubles, the endless rumors about their relationships and lifestyles. Being a Chrisley meant living under scrutiny, but never had it felt this invasive. She remembered times she had laughed off rumors, times she had stood strong in the face of public judgment. But here, standing in her wrecked home, Savannah felt a kind of fear and vulnerability she hadn't experienced before. As the investigation began, Savannah decided to share her experience on social media. She hesitated before hitting post, not wanting to seem like she was inviting sympathy or attention. But deep down, she knew there were people who cared, fans who had supported her family, and this felt like a moment to connect with them. She posted a photo of her living room in its ravaged state and a caption explaining, in simple words, what had happened. "Violated doesn't even begin to cover it," she wrote. "Someone broke into my home, destroyed things I've worked so hard for, and left me feeling like my safe space was taken from me." The post sparked an outpouring of love and support. Fans flooded the comments with messages of sympathy, anger, and advice. Some people urged her to strengthen her security system, while others offered words of encouragement and told her to stay strong. Savannah found herself touched by the kindness, and for the first time since discovering the mess, she felt a glimmer of comfort. Over the next few days, Savannah took steps to rebuild. She arranged for repairs, ordered a new security system, and hired a professional cleaning crew. But the emotional damage was harder to address. She felt watched, uneasy in her own space. Nights became difficult. Each creak of the house left her tense, her mind racing with the possibility that someone might be lurking. Sleep came in fits and starts, and during the day, she struggled to focus on work. Yet Savannah was determined not to let the vandal win. She threw herself into redecorating, using it as a form of therapy. She selected new pieces for her home, replacing the broken table, finding new frames for her photos. It was as though each choice gave her back a bit of control, a bit of peace. Days turned into weeks, and Savannah began to feel more like herself again. The police continued their investigation, but had yet to find any solid leads. Still, Savannah had found a way to move forward. Her social media became a place for her to document her journey of recovery, sharing snippets of her redecorated spaces, little updates on her mental state. Her followers, loyal as ever, cheered her on, and she felt grateful for their presence in her life. One afternoon, Savannah received a call from the detective handling her case. They had traced some of her stolen jewelry to a pawn shop 2 towns over. It wasn't much, but it was a lead, a sign that the person responsible might finally be caught. For the first time since the break-in, Savannah felt a sense of relief. Reflecting on the journey, Savannah realized that while she couldn't erase the experience, she could redefine it. Her home, once a place of safety that had been violated, had become a symbol of her resilience. She was no longer just a Chrisley living in the spotlight. She was a survivor of something personal, a woman who had faced down her fears and taken back her power. In the weeks that followed, Savannah grew stronger, more determined than ever to live life on her terms. She had a new security system, yes, but more importantly, she had a renewed sense of self, a reminder that she could endure even the worst of invasions and come out stronger. As she stood in her newly restored living room, Savannah felt a peace she hadn't known before. Her home was more than just a physical space. It was a testament to her strength, her resolve, and her ability to rebuild. She had been violated, but she had reclaimed what was hers, and she knew she would continue to face whatever came her way, one day at a time.